What's up, guys? Welcome back to Carnegie Studios. I'm Chris, and today we're going to be talking about something I've been practicing and working on for the last few months, and that is developing a method to efficiently practice my melodies. And so I'll just say this: learning melodies can be tough, especially when you want to marry what you've learned in your left hand and basic chords and add that to the right hand and make it just a little bit more of a full sound and a little bit more complex. I've found that a few of the things that I'm going to mention in this video have helped me with at least getting better at learning melodies and that process. And so let's jump right into it. The first thing is listen to and find the notes of the melody within the song. So at this point, you've already listened to the song in its entirety. You've kind of figured out the chords. If you're specifically looking to practice the melody and learn the melody, you're listening to the song and you're listening to the individual notes that you hear, whether it's the person singing or if it's the instrumental or the song by itself, and you're finding those notes to play. And you do that by, one, recognizing those intervals within the song, and two, being able to build that chord, which is why in previous videos I have spoken about building the chord based off of the bass note, the bass line progression, and creating that chord there to learn that by ear. So if you got the bass line, right, you've got the basic chord progression, and in your right hand you're listening to the melodies. And the goal here isn't to be perfect, it's just so that you can be able to familiarize yourself with the notes and be able to at least get a rough outline of the song, the melodies in the song. The second thing is recognizing what's going on in the melody, right? Once you've got the basic notes down and you've got a rough outline, now you have to get into the nitty-gritty. And for me, it's number one, figuring out what scale I am in. If I don't know the scale I'm playing in, figuring out and playing the melody becomes a multitudes of times harder to learn. Why? Because I don't even know where I'm at. Can you imagine you're in a city and you get dropped right in the middle of the city and you have the ability to learn where you are by looking at your map, but you decide not to look at your map. You just know that you want to go to a certain store, and so you walk in the direction that you think you know the store is in. You're going to end up, most likely 8 times out of 10, you're going to end up on the other side or the opposite side of the city because you didn't look at the map, especially if you're not familiar with it. That is the importance of knowing the scale that you're in. So you figure out the scale that you're in, preferably by ear. If not, however you learn what scale the song is in. And so when you learn that scale, now I can be able to recognize those intervals. That was a major third, that was a fifth, that was a sixth, whatever that was. And I'm able to start mapping a little bit that melody. That's something of major importance, knowing the scale that you're in. Another reason why as well is because of the fact that in all the songs I've learned, almost all the melody notes have come from the scale. Because if you're singing outside of that key, it sounds wonky, it sounds weird, right? It doesn't sound the best. And then the final thing is adding the left hand. A lot of times, if you learn, especially when you learn the song with the left hand first, the bass notes, adding that left hand can help you to put everything together, and it can help guide you in learning the melody faster, because oftentimes it is a combination. The left hand notes and the right hand in the melody can create a full chord spread that you see, that's spread across all the way from the bass notes all the way to the top. And a lot of times the melody is a chord in and of itself as well. And so knowing your left hand, knowing those bass notes, knowing those basic chords helps with those melodies and what's being done up top. And so let me know down in the comments below what helps you, what doesn't help you. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.